My name is Ejiro, and here with me is Mr. Karim, Abdul Karim.
Good
Sorry.
morning.
Good morning, Mr. Abdul Karim.
Good morning, Adriel.
Right. We are going to review three major headlines and one from Niger News. Tinubu may be sworn in May 29. I will still get justice. Peter Obi. From Leadership, court declines police request for Seun Kuti's arraignment. And from Daily Trust, Ogun student loses tuition fee to gambling and commits suicide. Mr. Karim, so let's start with Niger News.
Okay.
Tinubu may be sworn in May 29. I will get justice. Peter Obi. We all know that Peter Obi is heavy on being the president of Nigeria. I will be. It's my right. He's been heavy on it. And on 29th of May, it seems that his dream might actually be crushed because Tinubu might actually be sworn in. What do you think?
It's not, I won't say crushed. Yeah, you see, I've noticed that Peter Obi is a man who is, I think, he's not ready to back up on this case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the way he's going at it. And he has accepted the fact that there's nothing to be done about May 29.
Yes.
Definitely, Tinubu is going to be sworn in as as Nigerian's president. So now he is saying, even though he's been sworn in as the president, he is still not going to give up, and he believes that his allegedly stolen mandate is going to be restored either now or later.
Just like when he became the governor of Anambra State,
Won
with
Chris
the court.
Ngige, who became the governor, and eventually he won the case after 3 years of.
He feels that because that worked for him, this may actually work for him.
Well, that's what I said. He's actually a believer in. He believes in what he believes. You understand? Because it has worked for him before. So there is no reason for him not to believe that it will work for him again. You understand? But the system is definitely going to be tough because this is really not governorship. This is presidential, and there's a lot of things at stake here. But I would say that he believes so much in our judicial system that if eventually they find some, mishaps in the presidential election, the outcome of the presidential election, definitely will get justice. But then time is going. The Tinubu is there, but I don't think he minds even if it's after 3, 4, 5 years. He's able to get his allegedly stolen mandate. If he still retains that energy to still go on. Even after 2 years, 3 years, still continuing with the case. If he still retains that energy, of course. If there's anything at the end of the day,
okay.
I'm not saying there's anything. I'm not saying there isn't. If the court deems it fit that there was something actually wrong with the election, the concluded election, then they feel this was actually a stolen mandate. Then maybe at the end they will give it to him. But if at the end of the day it's maybe after 3, 4, 5 years, the judge deems it fit that this is not a stolen mandate and Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually won the presidential election, it's going to be a loss for him. And I think it's a risk he's willing to take, understand, as a person and as a politician.
Okay, so I'm just going to take a quick read on what Ngige said during an interview with Niger News. He said, with an interview with Daily Sun.
Okay.
He said Ngige was governor of Anambra State for 3 years. When his election was found to be faulty, he was removed. This is Onifade Peter Obi's spokesperson.
Okay.
He said Ngige was governor of Anambra State for 3 years. When his election was found to be faulty, he was removed. Only of recently, Emeka Ihedioha in Imo State was asked to vacate for Hope Uzodinma, and on and on.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal.
It's not.
That's
the
not
judicial
how
system has been doing a lot of that recently. Even the Adele case.
Adele case.
What's his name? They both had the same issue. and
Yes.
the judicial system, eventually gave him back his stolen
The
mandate.
Solomon,
So
yes.
definitely it's something that
But
happens often
this is
now.
he should know that this is presidential, and
It's still this, but we're
Tinubu
still
is a hard nut to crack, so you cannot even.
definitely there's no doubt about that. Is definitely not an easy opponent.
It's not
And
at all. He's not.
so let's just see how Peter Obi's tenacity, how far it goes in terms of seeking justice for his allegedly stolen mandate.
Well, let's see. Maybe we're in this country now. On the
Yeah, I
30th, they
can't
are
even
going
wait for
back to
this to the
court after
outcome.
he's been sworn in. So maybe if it takes 4 years or 8 years, we'll still be on the
We'll be
case.
there to see.
We'll be there to see, definitely. Okay, that's that. So let's go for leadership. Court declines police. Sorry. Court declines police request for Seun Kuti's arraignment. Now, this Seun Kuti's issue is still on ground.
Yeah,
It's still very much on ground.
Yeah.
And the police does not want to go easy on him.
On him.
They don't want to go easy on him. But Seun Kuti, on the other hand, has a very strong lawyer defending him.
Of course.
So that's President of
Falana.
Femi Falana. Now, in this issue now, what do you think?
I just wonder the kind of energy the police are overly putting on this issue, because they here I have they requested for a verbal, they made a verbal, not even written or official this thing, they made a verbal statement to arraign with the court to arraign Seun Kuti again.
Yes.
So I was even and Femi Falana was of the notion that they have to give him. There's a standing order from the court. He has been released.
He has been released on bail. Yes.
On last Tuesday. So now, before they could actually arrest him or arraign him again, they have to maybe giving him a 48 hours notice, and some other official deals must have been officials what stages must have been gone through. But now it's even true a spoken words that the police are requesting for him to be arraigned again, and the court and the Femi Falana was of the notion that no, this is not how it is done, and even you can't overrule a court order that is still on ground to actually start another case with it. And now it's now a judicial, what I call it, a claiming to be okay. I have the power to do this. No, you don't have the power to do this. The police are using the Police Act 2020 to tell to over this case that they have the right, they have the power to prosecute him, to do this and to do that, while Femi Falana on his other hand is actually quoting them of the fact that they're reminding them that they have to follow the due process to arraign. But it still comes down to the kind of energy that the police are. I find it odd though, because today it's not the first time. Though I'm not supporting Seun Kuti's actions. It was definitely, it should be under the law. It's a wrong thing to do, and of course he needs to face the law. And I believe that this particular situation he is now will teach him a lot of lesson, because
Seun Kuti, the history with him, his family and police and all that. Do you think that was what prompted him to do what he did? If we are going back to the beginning of the story.
No,
because in his clear sense, he said the police was drunk and he was harassing him, and so that's why he had to slap the police officer. I'm not defending him though, because he actually insulted the uniform and not the man. He insulted the police. And not just the man.
Yeah, you see, there are a lot of things you see or read or hear on social media and everywhere. A lot of people will be giving out these different versions of what happened.
Yes.
Some people said the policeman was drunk. Some people said Seun was the one that was actually drunk. Yes. Some said he slapped him. The police said he slapped him many times. He was drunk. He drove across the road and stuff like that. But be whatever reason it might be, the deal is that he violated the uniform, and it's a punishable offense. Definitely. So yes, but it can't be linked back to his heritage or his personality as a person. Of course, I don't know much about Seun Kuti, but I believe he's aware that what he did was wrong. I think he released an apology statement or so that of what he did, and now even there was an article I wrote about his venture in the in the cell. Like when he went into his cell, when he was put into his cell, he met of course other criminals, other inmates
Yeah.
there, and the first time they met him, their first encounter, they rejected him. Prison
Normal
is like
prison,
another world.
yes.
You understand? A new life
A new
entirely.
life entirely.
So he went in, they rejected him
Mhm.
outrightly. The prisoners were even knocking at the gates, calling the attention of the police that they don't want him in their cell. So he had to bargain with their leader.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
he had to strike a bargain with their leader to maintain peace, because there is no peace, he goes suffer for the prison. You understand? So he had to make peace, and how did he do that? He had to bargain with them, and he had to eventually give them 25,000 naira, according to the report.
Oh wow.
That he had to call his wife to bring them 25,000 naira to settle them.
Wow.
And it's actually opened our eyes to a lot of things that could even be happening in
the prison.
They had to bring money to a prisoner for
How
another
does he
prisoner.
how does he
to be-
exchange the money with goods? How
for
is that
another
even
prisoner
possible?
to be
That's
safe.
another story.
You
on its own.
understand? But let's not even delve into that. But he's exposed to another, this is another, experience for him as a person. And judging with some people might want to link this with his father,
Yes.
but he still remains the father. Seun Kuti is another individual with his own view about the world. So I think this is another avenue for him to, perhaps relate with his past, whatever reason that might be in him, whatever reason he might have to, exert such actions, or by slapping any man at all, not to even talk of police officer. I believe he has, he has made a rethought and think, know that he has done something wrong, and moving forward, he will definitely act more, more reasonably as a public figure.
Yes, because some persons are actually disappointed in him at this point, and some persons are really happy he did that, due to the fact that the police force in Nigeria. How people have been complaining and all that. So it just be like a here and there situation.
Yeah, and I would even not talk of it's not only we know that it's not only citizens or civilians that harasses the police officer. It's no longer a new thing that the police also harass the citizens.
Everywhere on social
and
media.
Even after Seun Kuti's issue, there have been several videos that we have been seeing resurfacing online. Some even happened recently
yes, of police harassing civilians.
And I think it's also brings us to the fact that even we as Nigerians, we should try to know a little bit about the law, and try to know our rights, as citizens of this country. A lot of people don't even know their rights.
At all.
A lot of people don't know when they are supposed to talk and when they are supposed to
keep quiet.
So, especially when you are dealing with police officers, especially when you are dealing with the authorities, you have to know how to find your way around them, because they can actually use what you say against you right on the spot. Before you know, you are already arrested.
That's why they always say before you get arrested, they will be like, whatever you say or do will be used against you in the court of law.
It's actually true.
Most people don't even understand this.
What that means.
They don't understand what it means.
Yeah. So as Nigerians, we should try to make efforts to learn the constitution, our rights, at least not all, but at least to know some certain rights that we have over the authorities. So sometimes they burst into your house for no reason. And you start painful. You want to get aggressive with them. No, you don't have to be aggressive with them. So there are a lot of things. There was a video online that a police officer was using, a heavy stick to hit an Okada rider, to take the Okada away from him,
and he was bleeding.
And he was bleeding, of course. But I saw on a post, I think it was Files that posted it, that he should not have the Okada rider should not have been in contact with the police, trying to drag the bike away from them. So it's another thing that we need to know, that we don't have to drag with the police. Either we are right or wrong. Either they are right or wrong. We have to avoid any physical contact with the authorities, and try to deal with any affair judicially by perhaps going to their station, to give them as much as as much as much room as possible for them not to have anything against us.
But as regard to what you just said now about them knowing their rights, Okada riders, some of these people they are not even schooled. They can't even read.
Yeah.
They don't know. So don't you think that they should do like a program to educate people on their rights?
I don't know. There are some. I don't. It should be the what's the riders association? They have some riders association. The Okada Riders Association. They have a lot of association. I think their major thing is just to be collecting
money from them. They don't even educate them.
These are the things that they should do. Because the Okada Riders they have encounters with the police all the time. Even the road safety, the praise award, VIO, they have encounter with them all the time. And if they seize there are sometimes they seize their bike. They don't even know why they seize their bikes.
Mind you, sometimes those riders might not even be at fault.
Yeah. They might not even be at fault. Of course. There are sometimes that they are just ignorant. Sometimes the authorities build on their ignorance to extort them. So definitely there are some authorities that they will use the power they have to extort. Because they know that you don't know what you're supposed to. Some will claim that you are parking where you're not supposed to park. Some they will just carry your bike. You won't even know the reason. You ask them why. They won't tell you the reason why they park your bike. I've seen that before. You understand? That we had to at least just people will even advise just pay the money over some thousand naira to collect your bike. So you have to pay because the bike is on. Maybe you collect it on loan.
Balance and what they call it, balance
daily. You have to give money daily. And you can't afford to let that go. So in all these things, we still need, maybe it's the Okada Riders Association that will organize at least some orientation for these Okada riders to know how they can, and they should make effort. You Sabiri, don't Sabiri? At least make effort to know as an Okada rider to know where you are supposed. In Abuja here, do you know that the Okada riders are not allowed on the expressway?
Yes.
And you still see some stubborn Okada riders on the expressway, and the authorities keep taking bikes, picking up bikes. Perhaps there are some times that they go on a raid that you see bikes that police officers, maybe civil defense, it's a joint task force that they go around to checkmate bike men that are violating the rules in Abuja here. So you see, they know that this thing is not allowed on the highway. They will still be doing it. So they are at fault sometimes. Maybe their ignorance, maybe the fact that they don't respect the law. So we need to actually understand what we are supposed to do and what we are not supposed to do. We should not allow our emotions to get the best of us as regards this Seun Kuti's emotions or whatever feeling he had at the time got the best of him, and now he's in this situation. So everyone should try to learn from that. But he is away from the prison, and I hope he.
Back to this situation, I strongly feel that the way the police force is putting so much effort in arraigning Seun Kuti, they should put so much effort too in disciplining their officers. Because there are so many things that officers do which is against the law, and they don't do anything about it.
Yes.
They don't do anything at all. So there's no proper training or if it was a policeman that slapped Seun Kuti, you will not see. They would have buried the case. You understand? They would have. I'm not justifying what he did, but in all clear sense, if you have been a victim of the Nigerian police force, you will understand what I'm saying and where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
If it was to be them, it would have been a different story. By now, the issue might have been swept under the rug.
Yeah.
You understand?
There have been several cases that we see issues like this happen. They will say, okay, he's a police officer. You'll see they'll post some pictures out there. Before you know it, the matter
he don't die.
Right. So, but it's the country we have. It's this kind of situation we find ourselves. So if we are the one that should avoid having troubles or.
I feel it's inevitable though.
It's inevitable. Yeah, we want to believe the saying that police is your friend. If you go to the police station, you see police is your friend. In the police station, you even see bail is free. But we know that
bail is not free. And police is not actually your friend in this country.
When dealing with the authorities, we just need to be careful. That's all. We just need to be careful.
Okay, thank you. Back to the headline. We are going to jump on this one from Daily Trust. Ogun student loses tuition fee to gambling. Commits suicide.
Wow.
This is really disturbing. It's really disturbing. I don't know if it's the gambling thing or is the school law and all that. I don't understand, but this is really disturbing in the sense that if there was no law, I think if there was no law of this of a student not writing exam in the first place, I think this would have been inevitable. Do you understand?
Well, if that's how you view it, because it's not today, it's not a new thing that schools will make the rules that if you don't pay your school fee as so date, you won't be allowed to write examination. But that one has been existing for
It has
years.
been existing,
You
yes.
understand? So, and I think it's perhaps the normal way they can go about it, because some students even, they give them their school fees, they spend it.
Like this one now.
So you are going to school, definitely you are going to pay school fee, and you can't expect to write an exam without having paid that school fee. So now in this case, the fault is more on this guy, right? What's his name? Is it Samuel
Adegoke.
Okay. Because now the reason he killed himself was not, I think it doesn't justify.
It doesn't.
It doesn't make any sense. You
right?
understand?
And
because he is an addicted, gambler. That's just how to put it. You just have to put it that way, because
for him to gamble with your school fees
and
his friend's
and your
school
friend's
fee,
money,
that's
that's
I
extreme.
think that's the point where he needed help.
That's extreme. And the most annoying part of it is that his father, after the whole incident, after he died, the father said that was how it happened
The
the
last
previous year,
semester.
the previous semester. He had to send him money to
pay
pay for the
for
school
his
fee.
school fee again.
That kind of, to me, that kind of encouraged the act. That kind of told him that, okay, if I do this next time, definitely I can maybe see a way out. Because
So if I'm getting you right, you're blaming the father.
No, definitely he knows his son gambles. Or if we don't look at that, maybe he lied to him. But if he did lie to him, then he wouldn't have known that he actually gambled with his money.
But I
the
wouldn't
previous year.
put it on the father. It's solely on this young man.
I'm
solely
going somewhere with the father.
Okay.
Because he's aware that his son gambles.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's aware that his son is an addicted gambler.
Yes.
Maybe he's aware. Yeah. Now he's coming out to say that if the boy had told him again that if he had told him again that he had gambled with the money and his friend's money, he would have sent him another money
money to pay for the fee.
Like, that solves the okay, maybe